players can really hate each other's guts. One guy ended another player's career with one tackle, and another guy went as far as marrying a player's ex-wife. But first, let's start off with a beef that involved Luis Suarez. If you don't remember, that's the guy who used to treat other players' arms like beef. What happened with Patrice Evra, though, was far worse than a bite. In October of 2011, during a blockbuster clash between Liverpool and Manchester United at Anfield, Suarez went dark and racially abused Evra by calling him the N-word in Spanish. Yikes! Unfortunately for him, Evra actually understood Spanish and was like, "What?" After the match, Evra spilled the beans, and before the end of December, Suarez was slapped with a €40,000 fine and an 8-game ban in the middle of the season. Bro was pissed. He defended himself, saying it was term of endearment, but nobody was gonna buy that, so Suarez had to sit at home in bitterness. But hold on, this saga is not over yet. In comes February 2012, Suarez's ban was over and Liverpool were about to face United once again. Then Suarez did the unthinkable and refused to shake Patrice Evra despite the dude grabbing his arm. Nuts! But as a revenge, Patrice Evra decided to celebrate the win loudly in front of Suarez after the full-time whistle. I guess the bad blood runs deep, but not as deep as this next rivalry. If you know anything about Roy Keane, it's that he's not a guy you mess with on a football field. He's a hard-tackling, bone-smashing central midfielder, which is why when you come for him, you best be accepting revenge. But I guess no one told Alf Inge Haaland when these two players first clashed in 1997. Alf played for Leeds United. Roy Keane attempted a hard tackle on the forward, only for him to miss and injure himself in the process. Alf, seeing Roy laying there on the ground, thought Roy was faking it, evaded the referee's notebook, and he let Keane have it, loudly. Keane missed more than a year of action because of that injury, but little did Alf Haaland know that Roy Keane was busy plotting his sinister revenge. The players didn't meet until 4 whole years later when Alf had moved to Man City. This time though, when Roy Keane went in for the tackle, he didn't miss, and he let Alf know just how much he enjoyed it. That was the nail in the coffin for Alf, because less than 2 years later, his career was done, and till this day, Roy Keane does not feel 1 ounce of regret. And that was precisely what gave birth to this next rivalry. Because what Alf Haaland couldn't finish, his son, the one and only Viking King, Erling Haaland, definitely can. Because of what happened to his father, Erling Haaland grew up hating the guts out of Roy Keane and Manchester United as a whole. As soon as he moved to Manchester City, he didn't hesitate to state what team he was looking forward to demolishing the most. And when he got the chance, boy did he pummel them. He scored a hat-trick, and he celebrated in style. Didn't stop there though. When the 23-24 season came around, he bagged a brace, and this time he did it at the enemy's den at Old Trafford. I mean, you can say revenge complete all you want, but we all know Haaland is not done yet. But Sadio Mané was definitely done when he punched his teammate and left Bayern Munich. We have been talking about rival players on rival teams hating each other. Here's a beef between teammates. You see, in the 22-23 Champions League season, Man City were handing Bayern Munich their ass at the Etihad Stadium, and it was getting humiliating. Losing 3-0, tempers started to fly a little bit, and Sané has some words with Mané on the pitch. You might be thinking that's pretty normal, teammates always berate each other on the pitch, that's how they improve. But after the match was over, Mané confronted Sané again, and this time, instead of words, fists got exchanged, with Mané landing a blow on Sané. These guys are supposed to be football players, not UFC fighters. Mané got punished for his actions, and the hate affair with Sané stayed so bad that Mané had to eventually move to Saudi Arabia to get over it. And it's much easier to get over a fist fight than it is to get over the fact that your best buddy is sleeping with your ex-girl. Maxi Lopez and Mauro Icardi were 2 tight friends once. Icardi, the young hotshot arriving in Milan, was like a student under his Argentinian big bro, the experienced Maxi Lopez. Lopez helped Icardi settle in. What he didn't know was that Icardi was busy eyeing up his ex-wife Wanda Nara. The pair started dating in 2013, and by 2014, Icardi was married to his best friend's ex-wife. Talk about betrayal. Icardi was as cold as they come, and Lopez was pissed. The last time these two met each other on the field, Lopez even refused to shake Icardi's hand. That friendship is definitely in the gutters now. Another football bromance that got ruined by a chick is John Terry and Wayne Bridge. These two weren't only teammates at international level, they were also teammates at Chelsea. But that didn't stop Terry from getting it on with Bridges' ex. But hold up, it gets worse. John Terry got his babe pregnant and later chose to abort. That's gotta sting for Bridge. And you know, John Terry was guilty because he was moving mountains to make sure none of that leaked to the public. He even threatened legal action against the media company who has the scoop. But alas, the dirty laundry got aired and Wayne Bridge never shook the hand of John Terry ever again. Can't blame him. Who knows where that hand's been? But you know what? Getting it on with a buddy's ex isn't all that bad when you take into consideration that Thibaut Courtois didn't even wait until Kevin De Bruyne broke up with his girl before stepping in. The two were tight friends, but little did De Bruyne know that Courtois and his girl were in the DMs setting up secret meetings. When De Bruyne found out, the relationship with his national teammate got just a tad frosty. It's not all bad for KDB though, he got to score thunderbolt against Madrid with Courtois in goal. Must have felt just as satisfying as his ex, or maybe not. But really though, footballers can get a bit full of themselves sometimes, especially when you're Kylian Mbappé. When Neymar and Mbappé arrived at PSG, they started off as great friends, but as the years rolled, the ego of both players kinda ruined that. In 2022, during a game in Ligue 1, PSG won a penalty and Mbappé stepped up ahead of Messi and Neymar to take it. And bro missed it. Then about 20 minutes later, PSG got another penalty, and this time Neymar was gonna take it, but not without protest from Mbappé. Mbappé even bumped the GOAT Messi on his way to go challenge Neymar for it. The guts on this guy, right? Neymar buried it, and after the game, the two stars were head-to-head again in the dressing room, and Neymar even went on to like a tweet calling out Mbappé. It's like Mbappé runs the club or something. Eventually, both Neymar and Messi left the club. It was a "this town ain't big enough for the both of us" kind of situation. But if we're talking straight up hate, then we can't leave out the lion himself, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. This guy hated Materazzi so much, he waited for 5 years to get his revenge. In 2005, Ibra was a Juve player, and Materazzi cut him down like a pair of scissors on the field. He was in pain and had to come off. Since then, Ibra went on to injure himself, went to Barca, and then moved to Milan, and he still did not forget about the Materazzi tackle. When the Milan derby came around in 2010, he made sure to drop a taekwondo move on him. Yeah, you heard that right. Those were his exact words. He put bro in the hospital. Again, his exact words. Talk about holding a grudge. So, as you can see folks, there's quite a few players who hate each other's guts. Whether it's a girlfriend or an injury or even a penalty, football stops being a team sport for these guys.